Three charged for machete attack at grave digging in St. Anne. Three 18-years-old were on Wednesday charged for a machete attack on a man at a grave digging in Riverhead District, St. Anne. Dwight Mullins, Damian Morris, and Jamie Miller, all of Monique in the parish, are charged with murder with intent. A court date has yet to be finalized. The incident happened on the afternoon of Thursday, January 18. The police report that about 5:30 p.m., a man was at a grave digging when he was attacked by the accused with machetes. The man received chop wounds to the head that resulted in serious injuries. He was transported to hospital where he was admitted in serious condition. A report was made to the police and the men were subsequently charged. JPS accused of negligence after man electrocuted in Manchester. A man was electrocuted when he came in contact with a fallen Jamaica Public Service Company JPS high-tension wire in Wellman Street, Christiana, Manchester on Thursday morning. He has been identified as 46-year-old Garfield McLean, a construction worker who lived in the community. Residents say they noticed fire gashing from the wire last Wednesday night and called the power company, but no one responded. They say about 5 o'clock Thursday morning, they were alerted to screams and later saw Mr. McLean entangled in the wire along the road a short distance from his home. They say Mr. McLean was on the ground for some time. The residents showed reporters that corresponding a rusty piece of metal which supported the wire on the pole, which broke, taking the wire down with it onto the roadway. PNP caretaker candidate for the constituency, Wellington Wint, accused the JPS of negligence in the death of Mr. McLean. What we have seen here is a display of extreme negligence, as the maintenance that should be in place is obviously and evidently not in place for a high-tension wire to break loose from that which holds it in place, and when we examine, realize that piece of the metal holding it in place was rotten, he explained. The residents here have been complaining to JPS for many years, they say. They say that sometimes the two wires collide and it's fire all over the place. The lady who lived next door to where the incident happened said a few days ago the wires just came coming together and she keeps calling JPS. It has gotten to a point where the residents had to hang a bottle and in one case, a building block to prevent the wires from coming together, Mr. Wint added. 2 men charged following armed robbery in St. Anne. 2 men have been charged after they allegedly robbed a man at gunpoint in Mansfield Heights, Orchard, St. Anne on Tuesday, January 9. Charged are 21-year-old Rodane Green, otherwise TR, and 18-year-old Tashawn Green, otherwise Colmals, both of Mansfield Heights, Orchard in the parish. They have been charged with robbery aggravation, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Reports are that about 4 a.m., a man was on his way home when 2 men wearing masks, one armed with a firearm, alighted from a motor car. The armed men pointed the firearm at the man and robbed him of a cell phone and over $70,000 cash. A report was made to the police and both men were arrested and charged on Wednesday, January 24. Their court dates are being finalized. Former parliamentarian Jolan Silvera, who has been charged with the murder of his wife, remanded until February 8. Former parliamentarian Jolan Silvera, who has been charged with the murder of Melissa, has been remanded until Thursday, February 8. The 52-year-old appeared in the downtown Kingston courthouse yesterday. The media was barred from entering the courthouse following an order by the judge. She, however, gave the assurance that family members and the media will be permitted to attend hearings in the matter at a later date. The murder case was transferred from the St. Andrew Parish Court after the Director of Public Prosecutions entered a voluntary bill of indictment paving the way for the case to be tried without a preliminary inquiry in the parish court. King's Counsel Peter Champion is representing Mr. Silvera. He told reporters that the case file is incomplete. The lawyer reiterated that Mr. Silvera maintains that he is innocent. He urged members of the public to exercise some form of restraint in their theories and bear in mind Mr. Silvera's children.
The matter is fixed for the 8th of February, when by then it is expected that the relevant documentation would have been provided to the defense. That's the first thing. And secondly, I think it's important to note, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say that observations have been made in social media, which, by the way, isn't social at all. But such is the nature of life. But I would caution, and that may be an exercise in futility, because there are many persons who have sought to try and convict already. And that's unfortunate, and I will not go beyond that. And just to say that the file is incomplete, and there is a particular document that we need to inspect to determine the way forward in the way of an application for bail for Mr. Silvero. Beyond that, myself and Ms. Patrice Riley, who represent Mr. Silvero, would not want to comment and go into the details and intricacies of the matter. He has maintained his position of innocence from day one. I am not saying that he is, because I understand that there was a report to that effect. No lawyer should ever really say that, because if you were so certain, then you'd be a witness. But certainly what I can say with great emphasis is that he is indicating that he's innocent. We have our instructions, we have our job to do, and it is for the court, ultimately, and members of the jury to determine whether or not he's innocent. That's not my role. Irrespective of your views, there are young children involved, and it is a very, very, very difficult time for these 3 children. I think that's been euphemistic, and I am asking the public, I'm pleading, maybe again an exercise in futility, but to exercise some level of restraint, not barring anyone from their constitutional right of freedom of expression and so on, but the life and the role of a defense lawyer is to provide defense. Everybody, every person, every citizen has a right to an attorney, and once we are in receipt of full disclosure, then we'll be able to determine how we treat this matter going forward.
April 2026 trial date for Beatrice Stout in murder of first wife. Portland businessman Everton Stout McDonald will stand trial in 2026 for the murder of his first wife, Marlene McDonald. Beatrice Stout is currently on trial for the murder of his second wife, Tonya, who was brutally stabbed on Monday, July 20, 2020. McDonald's first wife, Marlene, was shot dead outside her home in Bournemouth, Portland in 2009. He was charged for the crime, a cold case at the time, after being implicated in the killing of Tonya. The case was mentioned Thursday before Justice Leighton Pusey. Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Jeremy Taylor indicated to court that while the file is ready to start trial, the prosecution is awaiting the completion of the present trial in connection to the murder of Tonya McDonald. The trial date was subsequently set for April 13 to May 6, 2026. Boy who longed for love joins at Kingston Waterfront. Tensions flared at the scene of a suspected drowning at the Kingston Harbour as family members publicly expressed anger at how a son who longed for love met his demise while swimming on Tuesday. Dead is 12-year-old Karif Michener, who attended Tivoli Gardens High School. Karif, a resident of East Kingston, reportedly went swimming on Tuesday by the waterfront after school with 2 other boys. According to eyewitnesses, the boys got into difficulty into the turbulent water, and 2 of them were assisted to safety. However, Karif submerged and could not be found. Them say him Karif help one of them and come up and go back in the next one and couldn't help himself. Them try, but because him never have on any shirt, them couldn't hold him, a friend of his mother said, within earshots of onlookers and news team. The family's worst fear materialized in the afternoon when his body washed up and he was pulled ashore. This sent grieving family members into anguish and tempers flared, causing the police to intervene. Carrie's grandmother, Mashwin Pam Millwood, told reporters that her immediate feeling was just to sleep and never wake again. Me get a call this morning, say 3 of them jump off. They only save 2 and they can't find one. Me tell myself say nothing was wrong with him. Getting his school bag this morning and his shoes. Me I say something is wrong. Him can't swim, she stated. Millwood said that she was disturbed that her children chose to air their dirty laundry in public, knowing that Karif wanted love, and she tried her best and wanted everyone to join in. This is not the time for us to be fussing. I don't grow him, but I play my part. Him have another set of family on his father's side. I was trying to reach everybody to play a role and show him some love. I have him at home, send him to school, $700 a day. But when you live in a tenement yard and other people have kids, you have to be careful because things will happen. And them say, your child when I know him. Millwood said as she sought to break down the state of affairs surrounding the child. He once lived at 56 Tex Lane in central Kingston, but relocated to 114 Mountain View Avenue. His grandmother said that Karif has literacy challenges but took time overcoming them with the help of his partner. Him no rude, but him say him lack a love, so we understand, and what I say to his mother is to show him some love. Carry him go down a waterfront, hug him up, you and him squeeze and take the sea breeze, play with him, carry him go Devon house, and you and him eat ice cream, rub look ice cream pan his nose and kiss him, and say you love him, make him say you love him, Millwood told reporters. She said her grandson was resented by others who should have been standing by him, begging him to prove them wrong. Show them say you're somebody. Me no sleep all now. I was hoping they found him alive and he learned a lesson. That was my hope. I me pay him school fee. My boss helped me and I do everything for him, she said, adding that she could cope with his behavior, which was in line with Boyce's age. Millwood said Karif did not want her to send him to live with anyone else, but she had no choice. I had to work and come home every Friday, but if he was hearing when I talk, maybe he would be at home. But you know kids all over, he wasn't a child that was disrespectful. He was a respectful child, Millwood stated. She said that she wanted him to be an FBI agent. With all of this chaos, my mood is like to go sleep and never wake again. This is my mood from now, sleep and never wake up, Millwood said, glaring at her children at odds, separated in a time of grief. Onlookers told reporters that the authorities need to put signage in the area prohibiting swimming. This is not the first time people, including children, join there. If there is no sign, then people will take it safe to go and have a swim. A lot of even children go down there, and some go into the water, a male passerby stated. The Kingston Central Police are probing the incident. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.